Why backup quarterback?
No!
You'd still say no. Okay, so it has so it's not even the position that makes you crazy. It's just all of it.
I just hate that. I just hate this.
Tim,
all this line.
I
He's
almost
taking food out of the mouths of people who are 21-year-olds who are hungry and who are going for it. I mean, we argued about it the whole break. It's like, all right, well, where was the hate for Michael Jordan when he went to go play baseball?
Oh.
He's taking the food out of young kids' mouths who are hungry, who came up from the Triple A's and wanted to play baseball. Get him out of here. He shouldn't be playing.
Adore you and want you so. I'm just a no one with nothing to give you but all.
What's up, everybody? Yeah. Another one. Yes, another one, man. I always wanted to say that, man. I love DJ Khaled with his antics, but we are back, man. It's another episode of the Pro Set.
Outstanding.
This is episode 3. Can you believe it? We made it to episode 3.
Get him out of here. Just let him retire.
I'm excited for the show today, man. The topic is dear to my heart, being a lifelong Florida Gator. And today we're talking about Mr. Tim Tebow, man. We're Tebowing again.
Doesn't really make sense, but we'll just go with it.
Can you believe it? Tim Tebow on the radar again after, I don't know, what, 9-10 years being out of the NFL? This is unexpected, so I definitely had to give my take on this. I've heard everybody since this news broke talking about this, so I was like, you know what? I got to give my take on this situation, as well as the NFL schedule. It has dropped as well, and I want to, take us some time to point out some of the notable games. You know how we do. We keep it recent and relevant. So just maybe the first 3 weeks of the schedule, some notable games that you might want to check out coming up. But yes, man, Tim Tebow is back. Jacksonville Jaguars, his home team. Urban Meyer, his ex-coach at Florida, man. They won a two national championships together, I think. Reuniting for another run at it together. Maybe they can bring a Super Bowl to the city of Jacksonville. That would be pretty awesome. But yeah, man, we're gonna get right into it. Play this clip real quick and we'll go ahead and get started.
All right, so a developing story today. We'll get more on the schedule release, but we also begin with Tim Tebow. Apparently, he is likely to sign with the Jaguars as a tight end. Of course, last time he played in the NFL was 8 years, 4 months, and 10 days ago. Tebow won 2 national championships and a Heisman Trophy with now Jaguars head coach Urban Meyer. He, of course, was then drafted 25th overall by the Broncos, going 8-6 as their starter before being traded to the Jets for a 4th and 6th round pick after just 2 seasons. He bounced around, also spent some time with the Patriots and Eagles, but didn't start again in the NFL. Instead, went on to play 4 seasons of minor league baseball with the Mets organization from 2016 to 2019. So now here we are, Tim Tebow potentially getting another chance in the NFL.
And you know what? He should. He should. For those of you out there who are Tebow haters, this man should get an opportunity to try and live out his dreams. I mean, we cannot stampede on people who get opportunities to live out their dreams. As you heard in the clip I played at the beginning of the show, some people are out here making crazy arguments about, oh, Tim Tebow's an older guy. He's in his 30s. He's taking a roster spot from a young kid who could be playing for the Jaguars. All of this is just because he has a relationship with Urban Meyer. And yes, all of that is true. But my point is, so what? So what? I don't know anybody who hasn't leveraged a good relationship with somebody into getting something for them. This is how it is, especially in the black community, man. We all know it's called the hookup. This is what you do. You have a relationship with somebody and you get opportunities to get hooked up, meaning to be somewhere where you shouldn't be or get something that you shouldn't get, that you may not deserve. But because you have that relationship, you get an opportunity. And the thing about this hookup that's going on between Urban Meyer and Tim Tebow, it's well deserved. It's a proven hookup. This guy has actually performed in the NFL. He's played football for years. He won a state championship in Florida, where he played in Jacksonville. Then he went on to play in the NFL and win national championships and a Heisman Trophy in college, I mean. So, and then he goes on into the NFL, and although he does have funky mechanics as a quarterback, and they don't even put him in an offense that really fits his playing ability, he still goes out and he performs for the Denver Broncos. And some would say he overperformed. And it was something that I don't think John Elway was looking to happen, nor was John Fox, who was the coach at the time. Josh McDaniels, obviously the person who drafted him, was definitely looking for this to happen. But, you know, everyone else was really not on the Tebow wagon except for his fans, his diehard beloved fans. And, you know, we just want to see good people. Sometimes we just want to see good people have good things happen to them. And Tim Tebow's a good guy. So those are my arguments for the reason why he should be able to go and play in the NFL again, which it looks like Urban Meyer is going to allow him to do. And like I said in the first broadcast, when we talked about the draft, Jacksonville is my favorite team. So, you know, I'm like, listen, it's one spot on the roster. You know what I'm saying? We have kickers and all sorts of stuff, players who just sit on the bench and do nothing. If Tim Tebow's on the team doing the exact same thing, I don't care. Let him be the bench warmer that's on his hometown team. Let him fulfill a dream that most people never get an opportunity to do, which is to play for their hometown professional sports team. I don't care what sport it is, whether it's baseball, basketball, NHL, MLS. If you get an opportunity to play for a franchise that you grew up rooting for, or that's in the city that you grew up in, you want to do that. It's the same reason Marshawn Lynch came out of retirement and played for the Oakland Raiders. And nobody was sitting up here saying, oh, Marshawn is taking a spot. He's not a great runner back. He's too old. And it proved to be he had a little bit of steam in him, but everybody was pretty much right. He was too old to be starting running back for an NFL franchise. But the Raiders understood the dream, and they knew that he had a lot of fuel left in the tank, that he can go out, and not only could he play a little bit, but he can also teach the younger kids who were coming in. And he was a positive role model for other running backs, seeing the success he had in Seattle and in Buffalo as a running back. So when you get an opportunity to do what Tim Tebow is about to do, you take that opportunity, man. And you don't let anybody tell you why you should be feeling bad about that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't feel bad. I'm born and raised in Jacksonville, Florida. If I was a football player and I got an opportunity to play for the Jaguars, man, I would take it. I don't care if it was a 1-year minimalist deal. You know what I'm saying? I done made my money elsewhere. I'm at the twilight of my career. Why not fulfill that dream? It's the same reason in the NBA, players who went off to other teams, but they had a great success at one particular team, will sign a one-day contract or some kind of frivolous contract so that they can retire on the team that they started with, or retire or play for a team where they grew up at. You know what I'm saying? We see it going on right now. It's something about being able to play at the highest level or be associated with the highest level of your hometown. And so this is something that, you know, I actually applaud Tim Tebow for even going after, because it really takes some boldness to even go out and even ask for a tryout for this situation. But he did, and this is what we get, man. This is what we get. Tim Tebow signing with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and all of this backlash.
Hold up, time out. Why are you showing B-roll of a guy playing quarterback that's a tight end? Where the play? No. I need to see some plays of him catching a pass.
I saw him running the football.
No. You see him taking the direct snap. I want to see. Now, when I watch clips of Kyle Pitts and I watch of all the Travis Kelce and Darren Waller, they're not throwing passes. They're catching passes.
You're missing the point.
No, the point is that you look. Let's not beat around the bush. Everybody knows why he got this opportunity. Everybody knows that. He's from Jacksonville. They tried to sell tickets. Shad Khan is trying to sell tickets. They haven't been an item basically since Brunell has been there with Jimmy Smith and Keenan McCardell, Fred Taylor. That's a very, very long time. His ex-college coach is now the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So we know what this is, Skip. Let's not make this more like here's a guy that was very deserving of an opportunity. Do you know if I could just like open my inbox and show people how many guys that have played college ball that ask me, Shannon, do you know how can I get a trial? How can I get a walk-on? I was a this, I was a that. Do you know anybody? I got nothing. I got nothing. Here's a guy that has not played in 6 years, has not played in the regular season game in 9 years, and going to switch positions at the highest level and gets an opportunity. Really?
And that's really what's going on here. Just like Shannon was saying, it's pretty much the same thing I'm talking about. He's just going to get an opportunity because of the situation. There's no other team in the NFL that would even be looking at Tim Tebow right now, other than the Jacksonville Jaguars and his relationship with Urban Meyer. But that does not change the fact that he could be a productive player. How productive? I don't know. He is older. He's over 30. So the tangibles of the things that he can actually do may not be there, but we've seen older players that have produced. We've seen players even come out of retirement and produce. We saw Rob Gronkowski come out last year. He looked like a shell of himself, but the few plays that they needed him to be impactful, he was there. And I think this is what Urban Meyer is thinking about when it comes to Tim Tebow. He's not looking for him to be the star player like he was in college or when he first came into the NFL. He's just looking for him to be a role player, a situational, specific, we need this yard type of player. And I think Tim Tebow can be that. I remember James Harrison when he was playing for the Steelers, and he left the Steelers for a little bit, and he was an older guy. Nobody thought that he could play and move like he needed to move to be a linebacker in the NFL, but he came back to Pittsburgh, did very well for them, as well as played very well for New England while he was there. And so this is my thing is there are certain players who kind of are, their shelf life is not really the correct expiration date that's on them. You know what I'm saying? As far as football players is concerned, we look at Tom Brady, the ultimate overachiever. Everybody says that this man is too old to be playing quarterback in the NFL. And has his productivity suffered a little bit as he's gotten older? Yes. But the thing about it is you can't teach winning. You cannot teach winning. And I don't care how old you are. If you have the ability to play at the elite level, to be in the NFL at all, if you're beating out 21, 22, 23-year-olds because of your skills, then let it ride. You need to be in there. If you're better than them at that age, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And so we're not saying that this is Tim Tebow, but all I'm saying is that he has tangibles that a 23 or 21 or whatever is not going to have. So most of those guys that you're going to fill out the roster with anyways are undrafted free agents that may be on the team half the year, that'll go back and forth to the practice squad. It's not a big deal. We're making it a big deal because it's Tim Tebow. You know what I'm saying? And the man has opportunities. He has choices. And so when we feel like a person has choices and they get an opportunity, maybe taking it from somebody who really doesn't have a choice, like football is the only thing they have, we try to blame the person that has choices. You can't do that. You can't blame the person that did right by their life and created multiple streams of incomes or multiple outlets for themselves to do things. You can't do that. And so Tim Tebow, yes, he could play baseball right now if he wanted to. He could go back to the SEC network and be a commentator if he wants to, but he chose to live out his dream and finish out his playing career as far as athletics are concerned. He's in the twilight years of athletics. He maybe has 5 years left. So if he wants to play football and he gets an opportunity to do it for just 1 year to prove himself, I'm like all for it. And listen, the whole politics thing that they're trying to throw at this with the whole Kaepernick's not getting a job versus Tim Tebow, that's a different situation. It has nothing to do with race as much as it has to do with relationship. I'm sure if these people who say they have relationship with Colin Kaepernick would say, you know what, I don't care about what other people think. I'm going to use my relationship with Colin Kaepernick and bring him in and let him play. But guess what? Those people who do have a relationship with him are too scared to do that. Urban Meyer comes in, new guy off the street, nothing to lose. He's got his money. He's got his championships. He's got his legacy solidified. He has nothing to lose by coming to Jacksonville. And he's going to build his team the way he wants to build it. He's not going to come in here and try to fit into the mold of the NFL. He's going to do it his way. And so if Tim Tebow fits that mold for him, we got to respect that. We got to say, yo, Urban Meyer's going to do what he's going to do. Let's see how it works. And, once that finishes up, then great. And Trevor Lawrence right now is loving this because all the attention has been redirected from him to Tim Tebow. And that is so funny because we all know that Tim Tebow's not going to be a major role on this team, but yet he's getting all the attention right now. So, but that's all I want to talk about as far as Tim Tebow is concerned. We're going to jump right into the NFL schedule to close out the show here because I want to get into some of these games that are coming up because there's some things that happened on the schedule that really frustrated me as a Jaguar fan.
Biggest winner, though, from this schedule release is which team? Let's lead you off, Pete. You take us off.
I didn't pick a team. And I picked the fans. And the reason I picked the fans, as long as I've been doing this, schedule release day has been a national holiday. And last year, it wasn't. And the reason it wasn't was because fans had no idea if they'd be able to attend any games. There was uncertainty as to whether the games would even be played. They played the entire season, but there were a lot of empty stadiums. It was weird. I sat in the Super Bowl, and for the first time ever, I thought I was at an exhibition game. Now the fans are back. We will have full stadiums. It will be just like it used to be. And now the fans can start planning their trips. Can I get out on the road? How can I get there? When can I get there? Can I get a hotel? That's the fun part of schedule release day. And I think that's back this year for the first time in 2 years.
And I could not agree more with that statement, man. To me, this year is a fantastic year for the schedule release day. It's been a wild ride for us here as NFL fans, watching the NFL, seeing it in limbo because of the whole COVID-19, not being able to participate in the games that we want to participate in, having the awkwardness of moving games being postponed because of positive tests. So this year, to have that concreteness of being able to see the schedule before time, giving us months before time so that we can prepare and do all the things we like to do around the NFL is awesome. And so we're going to jump into it, man. We're going to talk about the NFL schedule. If you haven't looked at it, you can go to ESPN or NFL.com and check out the full schedule for the full year. But what I want to talk about is the first couple of weeks, majority of the first week of games that's going to happen coming up, because this is really what gets us kick-started for the NFL. And so, man, we got some fantastic games coming up in week 1. that everybody's going to enjoy. I think that at least 2 of the games from week 1 are going to be probably great games, maybe instant classics, man. So let's go down the list here real quick. So we got the first game of the week is going to be September 9th. Okay, that's a Thursday night game. We're going to have Dallas versus the Buccaneers, and that's going to be in Tampa Bay. So we got the defending champions against the, America's team, and Dak Prescott should be back in the building, so that should be a great game for everyone to watch. And then on Sunday, September 12th, we're going to have Jacksonville versus Houston. That's a division game right off the bat, so both of them need that win. You're going to have the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Washington football team. That's going to be a pretty good game. You're going to have Seattle versus the new look Colts without Phillip Rivers this year. They got Carson Wentz playing quarterback, so that's going to be cool. We're going to have the New York Jets. We don't know who's going to be at the quarterback position, but we're going to have them versus the Carolina Panthers. Okay, we're going to see how they do as well with a new quarterback. You're going to have the Minnesota Vikings playing at the Cincinnati Bengals. We finally get to see the return of their rookie quarterback from last year who put up some great numbers. Let's see how he does now that he gets some weapons from the draft. You're going to have Arizona versus Tennessee, San Francisco versus Detroit, Pittsburgh versus Buffalo. That is going to be a tough game. That's going to be a great game to watch. Philadelphia versus Atlanta. Cleveland versus Kansas City. This might be my game of the week, guys, because all the weapons that Cleveland have versus all the weapons that Kansas City has. This may be the game of the week here, guys. Watch out for it. Green Bay at New Orleans. Denver versus New York Giants. The Miami Dolphins versus New England. Chicago Bears versus the Los Angeles Rams. And to close out the first week of the season, my favorite team, or one of my favorite teams, the Baltimore Ravens at Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders are my team, so I'm not excited about that because Baltimore has got so much talent. That might be an L for my Raiders, but that's gonna cap off the first week of football in the NFL. So as you can see, man, it's a very, very good schedule for the first week. And if you go on down the line the next weeks and so, it's just the matchups just get very much better. You get so much better matchups. You got so much, young talent coming into the league. You want to see what happens with them, all these new quarterbacks, new receivers, these defensive players. How are they going to stand up, as well as the second-year players? All of these second-year players, the questions about them. Are they going to be able to replicate what they did in their first season? So we get a chance to see that. Now, my biggest gripe with the NFL schedule, and it's only on me and probably all the Jaguar fans and Dolphin fans are out there, is that we get 2 London games this year in October. Okay, we only getting 2 this year. And so on Sunday, October 10th, the New York Jets and the Atlanta Falcons are going to be in London playing a football game, which, whoop-de-doo on that. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the following Sunday, the Miami Dolphins are going to be in Jacksonville. And this is a game that I would have actually bought tickets to go see, to see Tua playing for Miami versus Trevor Lawrence playing at, Jacksonville. I would have paid money to go see this game in Jacksonville, and now I'm gonna miss out on this game because it's in London. Plus, it's gonna be a 9:30 a.m. start, so majority of people are not even gonna watch this game. Now, granted, it is in October, and by this time, we should know how good both teams are. But this is an in-state rivalry, and it no matter when they play. We love to see these games here as fans, especially the Dolphin fans and the Jacksonville Jaguar fans. You pretty much got the whole state of Florida watching that game. And so it would have been great to be able to see that back here in the U.S. and actually go to Jacksonville and check that game out. but we're going to miss out on it. We'll have to watch it over the internet or on television, however you watch your football. So that was my biggest gripe with the schedule so far, what's announced. But other than that, man, everything looks good. The NFL looks like they're going to have another profitable season. They are king in the sports world in the U.S. It's my favorite sport. I'm loving it. Definitely go out to their website and check out the full schedule. I'm telling you, probably whatever your team is, you're not going to be disappointed. I've heard some people say that the hardest schedule this year is probably going to be the Jets schedule, because of everything that's going on with them with the rookie quarterback, plus them having to adapt to playing all of these really tough teams. Their schedule looks pretty tough. But everybody thinks they got a tough schedule because to me, it's the NFL. Everybody's good. There's no given wins in there. Any given Sunday, you can get knocked off. So that's why I love the NFL football. It is sports at its highest level, especially the football sports at least. So that's what we get to see. But that's going to round it up for us today, man. I'm not going to keep you guys any longer. I just want to leave you with this quick clip, and then we're going to get out of here.
The NFL is really smart. They do a couple things really well. They understand that they're a television show. So they spread their events out and make them events. Every month has an event. You got free agency. You got the draft. You got the combine. You got the preseason. You got the schedule release. I mean, they put it right in the middle of the week, Wednesday, knowing that guys like me are going to talk about it today, Wednesday, tomorrow, Thursday, and some guys talk about it Friday. Put it right in the middle of the week. They drop it right before the NBA playoffs because sports is going to get a little cluttered here next week. So they put it right. They think about everything. And then when the NFL does have problems, they address them quickly. I mean, Major League Baseball has a 3-year problem. I don't know, feels like a big deal. Nobody can hit anymore. You may want to address it. Crickets.
And this is what I'm talking about, guys. This is why the NFL is such a great league in the U.S., man. It's probably the best league in the world if you actually think about all of the marketing strategies that they put together for us as fans to stay engaged for an entire year. I mean, I know people who all they do is eat, breathe, and sleep dreaming about the NFL and whatever the next event it is, no matter if it's the draft, no matter if it's the release of the schedule as we're talking about today, the playoffs, the preseason, whatever it is, the NFL has found a way to engage their fans, and this is the great thing about them. And they have polarizing characters that we have and we get to see in the NFL, and Tim Tebow is one of them. So to bring this full circle, guys, Tim Tebow is needed in the NFL. Don't let people mistake you or trick you to believe that this whole breakout of Tim Tebow during the last week was some sort of accident. No, this was something that the NFL wanted to see. They love it. As long as it's not bringing any negativity to the league, they absolutely love it. They love the Antonio Browns of the NFL, not the one where that's getting arrested and all of these accusations, but the funny, quirky Antonio Brown that was doing all of these social media activities prior to all of that. The one that was on the cover of Madden, the one that was making amazing catches in Pittsburgh. They love that. They love the old Tom Brady, who's always being talked about because people want to push him out the door, but he won't let them push him out the door. So this is what the NFL is, guys. It's the most entertaining league. Get used to it. This is what it's going to be. So guess what? We have a great schedule this year. Tim Tebow is going to be back on the field. And guess what? The football people have won again. So get used to it, guys. Just like T-Pain said, sometimes you just win. And with that, guys, I want to thank you for listening to the Pro Set episode 3. Thank you again. Make sure you check us out on social media. You can look us up on LinkedIn. You can look us up on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all of that good stuff. Look for Elitely Average Podcast Network. That is where we're at. Again, I'm NBY the Nerd, and you've been listening to the Pro Set. I'm out.
Why backup quarterback? No! You'd still say that. Okay, so it has so it's not even the position that makes you crazy.
Love Dolphins. Not these Dolphins.
Outstanding.
Instead of just being like, he doesn't belong in the league, get him out of here, just let him retire.
Hold up, time out. Why are you showing B-roll of a guy playing quarterback that's a tight end? Where the player? No. I need to see them playing and catching the pass. No.
My point is, so what? So what?